I am not finished reading right now, so let me go ahead and just share with you guys what I am reading. You are the commander of your mind. And this is Bruce Lee speaking. I've always been buffeted by circumstances because I thought of myself as a human being affected by outside conditioning. Now I realize that I am the power that commands the feelings of my mind and from which circumstances grow. That's my dude right there. If you love Bruce Lee, say hello. Give a thumbs up. Give 1,000 thumbs up. Just keep hitting the thumbs up. Keep hitting the likes. Because that man right there has totally changed my life. My name is Mike Rosenfeld, and this is the second episode of Mike's Gold. And today we're going to talk about mastering your fear. But before we go into that, I want you to think of an athlete. And I want you to imagine for a moment, this athlete has all of these skills, all of these powers, all of this stuff, right? That allows him to perform at the highest level. And I'd like for you to think to yourself, what is the number one thing that the athlete must have in order to excel at the highest level in their sport? Is it confidence? Is it work ethic? Is it physical talent? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it attitude? Well, let me tell you, all of those things are extremely important, but the athlete can have all the confidence in the world. He can have all the skill set in the world. He can have all the determination, the right attitude, all of those things. But if he doesn't or she doesn't know the rules to the game, none of those things matter at all. Think about it. If it's Michael Jordan, he's got all the confidence, all the focus, all the determination, all of that. But imagine he didn't know the rules of the game. He'll start running with the ball in this direction, shooting the ball in the wrong basket. We must know the rules of the game in order to succeed at the game, first and foremost. So when it comes to self-mastery, when it comes to success, there are rules. And when we know these rules, when we really know these rules and live by these rules and consider these rules, that's when we become powerful. Let me start you with rule number one. Rule number one is the rule of one. That's why it's rule number one. It's the rule of one. Makes sense, right? What does it mean? It means that everything is connected. Consider this for a moment. This nice shirt that I'm wearing, this beautiful shirt that I'm wearing, what's it made of? Let's say it's made of cotton. What is the cotton made of? Atoms and molecules. What are they made of? Subatomic particle. Ultimately, this shirt is just made of energy. Everything is made of energy. I'm made of energy. You're made of energy. Everything is made of energy, which means that we are connected to absolutely everything. You're connected to your greatest failure, just as you're connected to your greatest strength. That's important to know. That means that you can go that way or you can go that way. Both are fully possible. The second rule is the rule of creation. This means that every moment and every day, you and I and all those amazing people out there are constantly creating. It's important that we know that, because when we know we're creators, we don't blame people for our circumstances, even if we're justified in doing so. When we blame people for our circumstances, we give them all of our power. And the reality is, we have the ability to create and destroy and absolutely everything in between. Rule number 3, people call it the law of attraction. And that means that since everything is energy, we're energy, whatever vibration we're in, whatever we're feeling, that's what we're attracting into our lives. So for the sake of this conversation, let's just imagine that the highest vibration, the one we want to be in, is certainty. Love and certainty. And just imagine someone performing with confidence, with love, with certainty. They're doing well. The opposite of that, in this case, the lowest vibration, is doubt, worry, judgment. So if you go into the game and you're doubtful, your body's like this, you're tight, you force things. If you go into a meeting and you're doubtful, you're off, you're not in that space. When you're in that space of love and certainty, you're open. And because you're open, that creative force is able to flow to you and through you, which allows you to enter into that space that many people call the zone. So let's just take those 3 rules and apply them to fear. Fear. Wow. You know what's crazy? It's often I'm around other coaches, or I see these other coaches online, or I see people, parents, whomever, saying to their child or saying to their athlete, be fearless, be fearless, be fearless. It's like, oh God, look at that cute little lion over there. I want to go over and give him a hug. That's right, child. Be fearless. Go do it. Nothing's going to happen with you and that lion. You'll be fine. That's bullshit. It's not about being fearless. Being fearless gets you in trouble. It's about knowing your fear and being able to master your fear. So in order to master your fear, you have to recognize something. That fear is just whatever you want to call it. Something that shows up in your world. And because you are connected to your failure and you are connected to your success, your fear has something to determine, to do with which direction you go. If you doubt your fear, if you hate your fear, if you resist your fear, if you try to push your fear away and say be fearless or don't think about it, do you think that fear goes away? Has that ever worked for you? Of course not. That fear goes deeper within. It turns into anxiety. It turns into depression. It turns into all these other things. Why? Because fear is not the problem. Your response to the fear determines if there's a problem or there's an amazing experience. Here's what I mean. When you choose to see your fear as the greatest gift that can ever be given to you, you will master your fear. Think about it. Fear simply indicates what's important. For so long I was worried about my health. I would freak out. I would think of a symptom of bad health and I would come down with that symptom. I mean, seriously, I went about 6 years of my life thinking I was dying. And every time I heard of a symptom, I came down with that symptom. That fear that I had caused worry. And I went down that spiral of worry for years and years and making myself sick over and over again. But what I learned is that fear was simply an indicator as to what's important. So if I was worried about my health, what's important? My health. If you're worried about money, what's important? Having money. If you're worried about a relationship going bad, what's important? That the relationship goes well. So when you have that fear, what you want to do is simply thank the fear for showing up in your world. Thank the fear for showing up. So if the fear, let's say the fear is around money. Thank you, fear. Money must be important to me. So here's how you master it. Once you've identified that your fear is not a problem, in fact, it's a gift, whatever you're fearing, you say to yourself, what does it look like if I succeed at the highest level in this topic? If it's around money, what does it look like if I succeed at the highest level around money? If it's about health, what does it look like for me to be the healthiest version of myself? If it's around a relationship, what does it look like for my relationship to be thriving and magical and filled with all that stuff? And once you have that clear vision, and that's important, because remember, the law of one and the law of attraction, certainty is everything. You must be certain that that fear is a gift, and you must be certain of the direction that it's pointing you towards. So I'm certain, with all of that money, this is what my life looks like. And I'm able to see it. I'm able to feel it. I'm able to experience it, to enjoy it, to embrace it. Now that I have taken my fear and used it to get clear of what it is that I do want, it's very simple. All I do then is say, why do I want it? And I reconnect to my why as it pertains to that topic. I reconnect to my motivation. I reconnect to my passion. I reconnect to why I want it. And then I say, okay, in order for me to have it, what do I need to do? So if it's around money, what's the strategy I put in place in order to make that money? If it's around health, what can I do in this moment to be healthy? If it's around my relationship, what do I do in this moment to build my relationship? The options are very simple. I'm connected to both my failure and my success. I can use that fear and go down that spiral and really hurt myself through worry, or I can use that fear and get clear of what I want, why I want it, and build the plan to get it. The next step is insanely critical. Once you're clear of what you want, why you want it, you must take immediate action. And I like to do at least 2 things in that moment that move me towards my success, such as if it's around money, I might put my plan in place. That's one thing. I might make a phone call, or I might organize myself, or I might create an email that outlines my steps. It doesn't matter what the action is. What matters is you are in the ing. You are in the verb moving towards what it is that you do want, rather than being in the verb or the ing of worrying, which actually pushes you away from what you do want. Worrying, doubt, moves you towards what you do want. You are connected to your failure. Clarity creates certainty. And as long as you take the appropriate actions towards that, you're now moving towards your goal. Have you ever seen how certain people are able to respond to adversity in such a powerful way? How a quarterback, how a businessman is presented with a fear, and all of a sudden, like, it just brings out the best in them? This is how. They don't resist that fear. They love that fear. And they take that fear and they use it to get clear of what it is that they want, why they want it, how to get it, and they go into immediate action. Woo! If it is to be, it is up to me. 10 words, 2 letters for each word. Challenge plus response equals outcome. The fear is the challenge. How I respond to that challenge determines the outcome. You can either respond in a way that takes you away from your outcome, that's worry. And you're right by worrying. Sure, you can add up all the facts right there and be like, oh shit, this is not gonna work, and be right, but at your own expense. Or you can be effective and you can get clear of what you want, why you want it, and how you get it. So think about a challenge that you're going through. The fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, and really embrace what it's like to be you. And I want you to remember that what you're going through is not happening to you. It's happening through you. And it's happening for you. That means there's no coincidence. There's no random incident. It really does matter what you're going through. But you can either own your experience or shrivel up and worry and allow your fear to own you. The choice is yours. I'll tell you, ever since I've learned this formula of being able to identify my fear and master it towards my success, my life has grown insanely. I would sit on the streets of the ghetto, with cocaine in my pocket, crack at 4 o'clock in the morning, and have no faith whatsoever that I would be successful. And I learned this. And I want to teach you it. And I want to give this gift to you, because I believe you're here to be the healthiest, most powerful version of yourself. And part of that is mastering your fear. So I've created a short little template with the specific steps you can take anytime you're confronted with fear to help you take that fear and transform it into your success. If you would like that, I ask that you just message me with your email, or you go to my website, ilovecoachmike.com, ilovecoachmike.com, and put in your email address, and you will automatically receive the very specific steps on how to master your fear.